Ataxia is described as a lack of muscle control and lack of coordination during mobility and movements. This is often due to damage of the spinal cord and damage to the cerebellum, which is often the place that multiple sclerosis attacks. Therefore, if you have an ataxic gait, this might mean that you walk with a widened stance, or you walk with irregular foot placement, or maybe even the step length is different every time you take a step forward. This often leads to a safety issue because it can actually cause you to trip or fall. Fortunately, there are general guidelines and exercises that you can implement into your day-to-day life to help you regain some of this control over ataxic gait. There are 3 main guidelines to follow in order to help you regain some sense of control over your mobility on a day-to-day basis. The first is to do one thing at a time. Therefore, try your best not to multitask. The second is to make sure you are stable once you stand up before moving to perform a task. So if you're getting up to go get a drink of water, make sure you stand up, then sense that stability before taking a step forward. If you move too quickly, that can make ataxia worse. And third, focus on quality over speed. We have a tendency to try to do things a little too fast, which can make ataxia worse. So focus on the quality of your movement instead of the speed of your movement. If you haven't met me yet, welcome to my page. I am Dr. Gretchen Hawley, physical therapist and multiple sclerosis certified specialist. I am the developer of The Missing Link, my online MS wellness program, and the new podcast, The Missing Link. If you're interested in checking out any of those, check the comments below. For now, I want to show you my 7 favorite exercises to help with ataxia. 3 of them are going to be seated and 4 of them are standing. So let's jump in. The first exercise is to lift one heel, then lower it down, and repeat the same on the other side. So you're sitting towards the end of the chair or even in the middle of your chair, up nice and tall, core muscles nice and tight, and you're going to slowly lift one heel as high as you can, then slowly lower. Then the same thing on the other leg. Lift that heel and slowly down. Keep repeating this movement on each side, slow and steady. This is a great way to work some coordination into your practice. If you can't lift that high, that's okay. Just lift as high as you can comfortably and do as many repetitions with good quality as possible. The next exercise is one that requires coordination for walking. What you're going to do is lift one leg up as high as you can and then tap the knee with your opposite hand. So it looks like this, up and tap, down, up, tap, down. So you're going to be able to move in this alternating pattern. This is the same type of coordination that we need when we're walking forward. Similar to the heel lifts, it doesn't matter how high you are lifting your leg. If you can only lift your leg an inch off the ground, that's okay. Just reach a little bit further with your arms. You're also sitting up nice and tall. Core muscles are tight. So it's this alternating hand to knee exercise. To make that a little bit more functional, we're going to add an arm swing. So the third exercise is still the marching component, but instead of adding your hand to the knee, we are actually going to be pumping our arms. So when we walk forward, we need to be able to move one leg forward at the same time as the opposite arm. So that's what we're going to practice. So we're sitting down, core muscles are tight, sitting up tall. As you lift your left leg up, your right arm comes forward, then down. Then right leg comes up, left arm comes forward and down. Start slow with this to make sure that you actually are lifting opposites. So right leg, left arm, down. Once you have the coordination, then you can go a little bit faster. This can be extremely tricky, so make sure you're checking in with yourself the entire time. I will say it's very common for my clients to start off correct, then somehow they get out of whack, and it's the same arm and same leg lifting, such as what I'm demonstrating right now. If that happens, stop, regroup, and then continue with the opposite motion. Same thing here as what I've said before. It doesn't matter how high you can lift your leg or even your arm. You're just trying to get this alternating motion. The next exercise is standing up, getting stable, then sitting back down. So you're going to be sitting at the edge of your chair, feet are nice and wide, and you bend your knees slightly. You can have your arms forward to help with momentum, and you're going to hinge and stand up. Then I want you to feel steady, feel like you are in control, then hinge and slowly sit down. Now notice that my shoulders stay forward until my butt touches. Then I sit up tall. If you're the type of person that has a tendency to flop backwards like that, it's likely because you're keeping your shoulders too far backwards. So make sure you keep your shoulders forward. Let's review that again. You're sitting up tall, knees are nice and wide. They're also bent, shoulders and arms forward, hinge, stand up, stable, hinge, sit down, up tall. So let's do that again. And up, get stable, hinge, and down. You will use this a lot throughout the day. Anytime you stand up to do anything, you should be using this technique and feel stable before taking a step to move on to what you were going to do. We now have 3 standing exercises. I like to do these in the corner of the room so that I feel stable and can reach to either wall in case I need it. The first exercise is to stand with your hips shoulder distance apart, and you're just going to step forward and then back. You can hold on to something if you need balance. You can use a cane, you can use a walker or a rollator, or just hold on to the countertop. But you're going to shift your weight, then step forward, then back. Then same thing on the other side. Shift your weight off of the leg, then move the leg forward and back. Shift your weight, forward, back. Shift, forward, back. Again, we are working on this coordination movement while keeping our core muscles tight. It also requires weight shifting. If you forget to shift your body weight first, then you go to lift your leg, you likely will feel like you have to quickly put it down. So shift your weight, then move your leg. Next is using a step to help with coordination and balance. I don't have stairs in this room. If you do have stairs, you can go to your stairwell and hold on to the banister in the wall, or 2 banisters. Whatever you have in your home will work nicely. You can use something as large as a regular single step or something as small as a thin book, whatever you can tolerate. Again, hold on to something to make sure you're safe, and you're going to place 1 foot up top and stay here for balance. And you're just going to balance in this position for as long as you can. Keep your core muscles tight, squeeze your glute muscles, and when you're ready, lower that leg back down to the ground, and then repeat on the other side. So you'll stay here in good posture for as long as you can. And down. The final exercise is to use our step again, but this time for a coordinated tapping movement. So you can still hold on for safety. You're going to shift your weight off of your leg, then tap the step. Down. Shift your weight, tap, down. Now remember, if this step is too high, use something that's not as high. It can be a book, it can be a planner, or maybe it's nothing. If we remove this step, this is the same exercise as the first standing one that we did, where you're just shifting your weight, then tapping your foot forward. This is a progressed version of that same exercise. Shift, tap, down. Try to do each of these exercises for about 1 minute if you can tolerate it. But keep in mind that good quality is the most important thing. So focus on quality over quantity, and also remember speed does not matter. So quality first before focusing on quantity or speed. Additionally, try to do these exercises up to 4 days a week, and keep in mind that these are general examples of ataxia-based exercises, and they are not going to be perfect for everyone. So modify when needed, listen to your body, and make sure you're staying safe.